everybody, I'm Courtney Goodson, and I'm here with Lyndi Cochran, also known as Bendy Lyndi. She's a pole aerialist. How have you been since high school, since you graduated high school?
I've been really good. I'm still in the Woodlands, going to Lone Star right now because my studio is here and I didn't want to leave. I wasn't ready to make that separation. So
where's your studio?
It's called Twisted Fit. It's in Old Town Spring, right off of Main Street. It's an orange building. You can miss it. It's kind of hard to find, so.
And you're in school right now. What year? So
I'm a sophomore.
You're a sophomore right now.
I just started my second semester
of
my sophomore year.
Okay, so what are you majoring in?
My major is mass communications and electronic media.
Me too. Well, mass communications.
Yes.
Broadcast journalism.
So video editing is what I would like to do, but I know that mass comm is such a great major. You can work anywhere. If you
Definitely.
Yeah, everybody needs someone in HR.
So you're majoring in mass communications. Does that have to do with what you're doing with your career? Like, is that going to have to do with your career path?
Yeah, what I would like to do is kind of what I do now, where my major of mass communications fits into my career. So whatever I'm doing to make money in the future has to do with my major, but I still would like to continue to teach classes and things like that for pole. But my studio isn't where I'm going to transfer. So
exactly, yeah. And so what school do you plan on transferring to?
I am planning to transfer to Texas State University.
Okay. I plan on transferring to Sam Houston or UNLV. I don't know yet. I'll figure it out. But so tell me exactly what do you do? Like, I know you've competed in pole competitions. Explain to me what pole competition is, like pole dancing. Explain it to me, so for everyone that doesn't know or who gets the wrong idea, let me know.
Most people, when I say the word like pole dancing competition, they just don't even know that that's even a thing that exists. It's like a dance competition, just any kind of dance competition. You have two poles, one's a static and then one spins, so you have to use your body's momentum to make it move, and depending on which category you compete under, your choreography matters. Sometimes you have compulsory moves if you're in a professional division. I typically compete in professional artistic division. So after they tell me that I've made it into the competition, after my preliminary videos get judged, I have a time limit and I have to pick a song that doesn't have any bad words that's like appropriate, and then I have to make choreography for that length of time. And I don't have any restrictions. And some people think that it's easier to choreograph that way, and some people think it's easier to have compulsory moves. It just kind of depends on who you are. So.
And so it's the length of the song. That's how long it has to be?
Yeah, that's the only requirement that my division has.
Oh, okay, that's cool. So how long are the songs that you usually dance to?
3.5 to 4 minutes is typically the length for a professional competition.
That's long.
Yes, it is. You are exhausted by the end.
And so how are practices like? Wait, do you have a trainer, like a personal trainer?
I train myself. The owner of my studio, her name is Tina, and her stage name is Tina Twist. She helps me a lot. She teaches me new moves. She helps me choreograph a lot of my floor work, and I help her too because I have such an extensive dance background. I mean, I've been dancing since I was like 8. Wow. So I help her with her floor work mostly, like transitioning between poles, and she helps me with my pole work, which is just like working on an apparatus.
Okay, cool. So are you by yourself in the studio when you're training, or do you work out with other people?
When I'm training for my competitions, I like to be by myself. I get distracted super easily, so I can't have anyone else there because I'll just talk and listen to music and get distracted. But if when I teach, because I teach Thursday nights at the studio, I have all of my students, and I'm usually a lot more strict than most people would think. Like, you know me. Really, like, fun and just, like, whatever, but all of my students know me to be really, like, stern. So
I've heard stories. And so, how many students do you have? Like, do you have different classes? Like, how does that work?
Well, our classes are levels, so there's like level 1, which is intro, level 2, 3, which is like intermediate, and then level 4, 5, which is advanced. I like to teach the advanced levels. I teach 2, 3, and I teach levels 4, 5 on Thursday nights. And it's typically, it can be anywhere between like 1 student and like 20 students, just depending on time of year, who signs up online, that kind of thing. Like who cancels, who got stuck in traffic, that kind of thing.
Okay, cool. So what are you doing? I understand that you won a major championship last year, right?
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
I went to, it was my second competition for pole stuff ever. It was my second or third year doing pole. I started taking pole classes at the beginning of 2013.
Okay.
So now it would be about 3 years. So last year in May, it's called COTAC, the Capital of Texas Aerial Championships, and I competed in the artistic professional division, and I won. And it was actually a real big shock to me because it was my second semester of my freshman year of college, and I took 2 science classes and then 2 other courses. So I had 15 hours under my belt, and I was working, and I had to choreograph. So I didn't start choreography until my semester ended, so I had to do the whole thing in 17 days.
17 days, and you won the entire thing? How many people were in the competition?
Well, I think I competed against maybe 10 people, but you have to submit a video, and then it's like a preliminary scoring, and then they let you know if you made it into the competition or not. So you have to submit a video to see if you're eligible, and then after that you have your set, however many people.
So you don't even go to the actual competition until you, like...
You've already been scored. You have to make it into the competition.
Oh,
it's a competition to get into the competition, and then there's that one. So.
Oh, wow. So why weren't you expecting to win? You're really good. Like
I didn't expect to win. Well, the first year I did it, that was my second competition. The first year, I had a really great time. It was very stressful. I get very stressed out during competition season because I'm a perfectionist and I want everything to be perfect. And I didn't win. I won Best Flexibility. I won that last year also.
Oh, wow.
But I didn't think I was going to win just because the first year I didn't. And I only had 17 days to choreograph it. But the whole mindset I had was I just wanted to have a really good time. So, and that's exactly what I did. I didn't care whether I won or not. It didn't matter to me.
You just felt more comfortable.
I just had to get through the initiation of your first, because it's not like competing on a team where you have other people up on stage with you. It's just 100% you, and there's so much that could go wrong. Like, you could misplace your hand and fall. You could get too sweaty and slip. Like, you may not have enough tack. Like, there's just so many things that could happen. It makes my anxiety go through the roof.
I can imagine. So how many judges are there?
There's, I want to say maybe 5.
5. And then how is the scoring? Like, how do they score you? Based on what?
On my routine, I was scored on creativity. I was also scored on technique, point your toes, straighten your knees. And there's difficulty, and there's 3 others, I think. Flexibility is one of them too. So it takes in a lot of different, like strength is one. It also takes into account what kind of moves you do, because if you do a bunch of moves really well, but their difficulty level is on the easy side, it's not going to rack up a bunch of points.
Wow.
So
when did you know that you wanted to compete, like pole, like do pole competition? Because
my first day.
Your first day?
My first class.
Really?
My mom wanted to try it, and I had been out of dance for about 3 months, and she had been talking my ear off about how she wanted to try it. So I was, all right, I'll go with you. Sounds great. I love her. She's a wonderful woman. So I went with her, and after my first class, there was a sign on the door that said, like, there's competition coming up, kind of thing. And so I talked to the owner, who's now my boss, Tina, and one of my very good friends. And I asked her if I could compete in it on my first day, and she told me that I couldn't because you have to be 18 to compete in a pole competition. Oh, wow. So I had to wait a year, and I was very upset, not happy. But then a year went by, and I got knocked the first one out.
So after you took your first class, you just kept going?
I went maybe like between 3 and 5 hours every day.
What?
For like 5 days a week for a little while, just because I loved it so much.
So did you have to, like, I know you were a beginner at one, like when you first started, but like, was there a certain type of training that they took you through to become, like, to be able to do that stuff? Because I know your legs have to be strong, your arms have to be really strong.
Yeah.
Like, how did that go about?
Well, I had a lot of dance training
Mm-hmm.
from a private company that I was a part of. We like won nationals several years in a row.
So you danced before?
Yes.
Okay.
And when I got there, I already had the leg strength. I had some core. I didn't really have a lot of upper body, so there was still a lot of work to be done. But for my first class, I did a pretty good job. Most first timers don't do as well as I did, but that's only because I had the dance training. I knew what turn your hips out meant, and I know how to point my toes, and I know how to go through a checklist in my mind of all the little things that you have to do to make your move look perfect.
Okay. So where do you plan on taking this? You won your first championship last year. So where do you see yourself maybe 5 years from now, dealing in regards to the pole competition?
Well, I would really, really like to continue to compete. It's so stressful. I always have this inner battle when it comes time for competition season where I debate whether or not I want to do it, and I always end up doing it anyway, so I should just save myself the stress and not worry about it and just assume I'm doing it. I'd really like to continue teaching. I might have to find another studio when I move. So hopefully that'll work out. I have a portable pole, so I'll have it at my house.
I know. I wanted you to bring your portable pole.
I didn't have time to get it today.
I need to come take a class. I want to try it out.
You should totally come try it out.
And so for people who want to try pole dancing or wants to take a class from you, how can they do that?
Well, the studio is called Twisted Fit. They can go to our website, which is just twistedfit.com. We also have a Facebook page and an Instagram, and we might have a Twitter. I don't know if anyone knows how to use Twitter at the studio.
I mean, yeah.
So, but if you just go to our website, and it should have instructions there how you sign up for your first class, which would just be a level 1, and then you show up, and then you rock it.
Okay, cool. Then I'm definitely coming.
Lyndi,
I'm coming.
You should do it. You should.
All right, cool.
Definitely do it.
Well, thank you so much, Lyndi, for coming on the show. I enjoyed you being on the show. How can people watch like your competitions? Like, what do you have coming up this year for 2016?
Well, I do have a competition that I am in the process of debating whether or not I'm going to do it, which means I'm probably going to do it. And it's the same one I did last year. It's it's COTEC 2016. It's in Austin. It's going to be in May. So,
May sometime.
Last year it was on a holiday weekend, so I don't know if they'll do that again or not. But
and is there any way that they can watch it, like on YouTube or like?
I'm not sure if they live stream the competitions, but my competition routine from last year is on my YouTube channel.
What's your YouTube channel?
It's Bendy Lyndi, but I think the studio's YouTube channel, Twisted Fit, also has it, so you can watch it there. I have my Instagram where I post all kinds of updates on like.
What's your Instagram name?
It's Bendy Lyndi.
Bendy Lyndi. Everything. You use Twitter, right?
I just made a Twitter.
Is it Bendy Lyndi?
It is.
Okay.
It totally
How
is.
do you spell? Can you spell it out for everybody so they can follow you?
It's BENDY with a little underscore LYNDI.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much again,
Yeah,
Lyndi. It was good seeing you
again.
Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you next week.